What we have here is someone that has been convicted of a felony for offending sexually against a young girl. You have a young girl. Did you think that through?
Yes.
And tell me, give me that thought process.
I know he was wrong with what he did. In the family, a lot of us have dealt with sexual abuse in some sort of way. I just feel like he was a kid. He was experimenting, probably.
Are you trivializing this? Are you minimizing this and underreacting to it? I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't think so.
So why do you say this is just about control on her part? Does she not have a legitimate concern here?
She does, and I completely understand where she's coming from. But she's taking a thing that 2 children did.
They were at least 5 years apart. What I try to explain to you, developmentally, 5 years apart. 8 and a 13-year-old. A 13-year-old certainly has a lot more experience, no matter what it is, than an 8-year-old child.
Okay, but it's not just about him. That's not everything. It's the fact that you control everything.
I have a copy of the police report here. It says the following, the things that he was charged with: 1 count of rape, 1 count of sexual abuse, and 1 count of endangering the welfare of a child. And the police report says that his offenses against this child were from the ages when she was between 8 and 11, across 4 years. Not just an impulse, experimenting one day, but 4 years. He was 13 to 16. I did the math. Those were the ages. One was prepubescent, the other was postpubescent. Now, there is a distinction there. I just want to be sure you understand what he was charged with, and he was in jail for what, 7 months, and then made a plea deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you get that?
Yes.
Does that concern you?
No.
When he was released, he is a registered sex offender for life, stage 2. Mm-hmm. There are 3 stages that these predators are categorized in. And stage 1 is that they are a low risk of reoffending. Stage 2 is that there is a moderate risk of reoffending. Stage 3 is that there is a high risk of reoffending. So he is at least a moderate risk, according to the categorization system, of repeat offending.
It's my understanding he's stage 2 because of his other past of being involved in drugs and alcohol and getting in trouble.
Those are risk factors. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Because if somebody impairs their consciousness, if they impair their ability to make a decision, and they have a history of offending against others, those 2 things combined do make them a high risk.
He's not that person anymore.
Right. Well, and you could be right about that. I don't know. But I want to meet and talk to him. I want to see what he has to say. Now, before we go to break, I want to ask the question to those tweeting today: how would you react to your daughter dating a registered sex offender who says he's reformed? Michelle has never met Melinda's boyfriend. She has never even spoken to him. And later, for the first time, she is going to meet him. She is going to hear what he has to say. But first, Melinda's sister says there's much more to this story, and she's going to join us next.
If we don't get help, I know I will become physically violent. I will seek out that opportunity. When I know that disgusting pig is with my daughter, I will eventually violently react.
A few months back, my family ganged up on me, told me how they were conspiring to get rid of my boyfriend from my life. They also had told me that I was a bad mom, and they were working on ways to take my daughter away from me.
I would do almost anything to get my daughter and my granddaughter away from it.
That night changed